Yo, what's happening, guys? Today I'm bringing you a tutorial on how to trade leverage on LBank as a beginner. Now, guys, I've partnered up with LBank and they are one of the fastest growing exchanges right now. And I want to show you why. I want to show you how incredible, especially their leverage platform is. And I want to show you how to actually navigate your way around the exchange and how to actually trade on this platform. So, guys, the first thing you're going to want to do is obviously open up an account. Now, if you look below this video, you will find my exchange link. Now, guys, what we've managed to do is get some incredible deals going by using my link. The first thing that I want to show you guys over here is I want to show you that you have these two main things that are very important. When you are a trader, you're looking for something that has a little bit less fees. Okay, so the more you trade, you don't lose too much money on fees. You want to make sure that it has volume, and you want to make sure that the user interface is very easy to trade with. Because when you start leverage trading, remember, leverage trading is shorter term trading, right? You trade less money. Your long term sits in long term wallets, but when it comes to trading, less money, but you're trading more actively. So you want to be comfortable. You want to make sure the platform is very nice and user friendly as well as a mobile app, right? Making sure that you can have this with you at any point and any single time. So the first thing that we have a great thing by using my link over here is we have zero maker fee special. Right, this is good. All users via Sheldon's referral link will enjoy 0% maker fees. Great. Okay, the next thing that's important, right, is you get many exchanges that do these things as sign-up bonuses. Okay, and this is fine because you make a little bit of money within the beginning, okay, but you don't get rewards as you trade. So what they've created is something called a weekly volume challenge. Now, remember with leverage, guys, if you have $1,000 and you decide to trade on a 10x, right, it means you're actually trading $10,000. So every trade that you take, you'll see that your volume starts to accumulate very quickly. So what they made here for you is a sliding scale to say like, hey, let's get rewards going every week as you are trading, right? And you can see this over here, something like $100,000. So again, an example, you had $1,000 on a 10x, for example, and you traded, let's say 10 times, you'll already achieve the 100,000. You'll be very surprised how you are trading so actively already, right? Or you start to trade actively, your volume is accumulating up. So every time you achieve 100,000, you'll get $20 a week that you can claim, okay, for as long as you're hitting 100,000. If you get to a million, you get to 200, okay, 3,500,000. And it sounds like a lot of volume, but not when you're trading quite actively. You'll see how fast your trades start to build the volume up. So this is amazing over here because every week you can just go and claim for as long, whenever you're trading, at least you are making incredible cash with that as well. Now, the next thing that's also important is you get an entire school, guys, by using this link. I have this thing called Sniper School. I've done over 140,000 students, right? I'm one of the simplest TA people or persons inside of the space. I did not have much when I started my journey. And I managed to actually make a success of trading with very simple strategies, with lines, with RSIs, very simple things. So I can guarantee you that this school itself over here is going to be one of the best and simple schools you'll ever do. It will actually make you ignore the noise. Crypto, you come in and you think it's this crazy place, but it's not. Simplify it. You are here to make money. You are here to become a boss of your own money. And this school will teach you 100% how to do it. 4 years ago, I never had any crypto journey. And 4 years later, I'm running multiple businesses and I get to trade and do YouTube and stuff. And it's incredible. So what you see here is my pure life story, but also all the lessons that I learned. And it can make your journey a lot faster. So by using the link below, you get into the school. So again, you'll see two links below the video. The one to open up an exchange account. The second one is you can register for school. And every month we run fresh cohorts, okay? And we are here to help you educate and really know what you're doing. Okay, so first thing, guys, click below, sign up. Once you sign up, you're going to put in an email and a password. Make the password pretty good. Remember, you are now the boss of your money, right? Then once you do that, you will then come into the dashboard. And this is what it looks like. Now, guys, in this tutorial, I'm going to focus a little bit more around the leverage. Leverage is a very high topic that a lot of people want to start trading off of. And I also want to be honest with you. Leverage won't create long-term wealth. It will create a lot of short-term wealth. And it's your choice what you're going to do with that short-term wealth. If you take that short-term wealth and you learn to pay things in your life, or you learn to buy tokens for the long term, it becomes a very powerful tool. But if you're going to put all your money into leverage, just know that leverage can wipe you at any point. okay, which is not scary. It's scary when you have a lot invested, okay? But when you actually use it for the power and have smaller accounts, trade less money, you'll realize that where in the world can I get 20 times more my money in seconds, right? If I want to now take a trade and, I want to trade with way more than what I got, I have access to that, right? So less money and more powerful when it comes to learn the strategies of how it works. So let me show you around quickly over here, just on the important things. This is what it looks like once you have signed up, right? If you want to buy crypto, okay, they do have the section over here. You can use fiat. You can obviously transfer crypto within here, but this buy crypto here is if you want to invest and obviously buy some crypto, let's say for the first time. Then what you have here is something called markets. And this is going to be a place for you to come and see all the coins that are basically on this platform, right? You will see that they have many, many, many coins, right? Incredible coins. Now, remember, when it comes to trading itself, I like to trade tokens that have volume, okay, that are a little bit bigger tokens. But if you want to trade any of them, just make sure liquidity is important, especially if you're trading with a lot of capital. Very important. But you could see here, if you want to see any tokens that they have on spot, you will find them all here. Futures, which is the leverage section. Look how many tokens they have over here when it comes to leverage. I think it's hundreds and hundreds of tokens that they have here on the leverage platform. So they have a wide range of many tokens, which is really good. So that's the market section. So go find tokens, see what's all available. Then you have the trading section. And this is where you'll find your spot, right? Now, spot, I just want to explain it. The way it works with me is I split my money into 3 ways when I trade. The first one is long-term, something that I buy and I'm holding for a couple of years. This I will take off of exchanges and put into a wallet, right? With a ledger, nice and safe, and keep that away. That's my long-term wealth. I want to be able to move around the world and have my wealth with me at any point, right? The second account that I have is a spot account. Now, a spot account means that you buy and you actually own the token, right? Which means that you can buy it and you can have it in the exchange. And this is a little bit more important money to me because I want to put something called a stop loss in, right? So if I'm buying and investing, I want to make sure I protect my risk there. So if it goes against me, my long term, I don't mind because it goes up and down, but overall it goes up, right? But when it comes to shorter term or mid-term investing, I don't want to lose too much capital. So I want a place where I can have a stop loss and have a take profits and I can build an account up, right? But this is no leverage. This is a little bit bigger. So for example, 70% of my money is in long term, 20% is sitting in spot, and 10% will, let's say, be 5 to 10% will be for my leverage accounts, right? So this is the spot section. You can see you have a chart. You have all the tools here. If you want to do some analysis and do stuff on the actual charts, you have that. Okay, here's all your time frames. You want to look at different time frames of the token. Top left-hand side is obviously where you'll choose your tokens. You can see they've categorized it as well. You want to see memes. You want to see L1s. You want to see the different type of narratives within crypto. This is where you can search it. Okay, then you'll see on the right-hand side here, the order book, people that are selling, people that are buying, right? This is the price. Obviously, if this team is beating this team, price is going up. This team is beating this team, price is going down, right? This is where you can see the books, okay? And this just shows you the amount of people that are buying and selling. Remember, when you are buying a token, you're buying it from someone that's selling. And when you're selling a token, you're selling it to someone that is buying, right? Then you'll see on the right-hand side here, very simple, buy and sell section, right? And this is very nice. Now, what's also good about this is you see here on the side here, you got something called a OCO. And what that means is something called the order cancels another order, right? So it means you can actually put a stop loss, so a take profits and a stop loss. What does that mean? That means if I'm buying Bitcoin as an example right now at $103,000, but I don't want to be in the token if it goes below 90,000 because then it's really going to drop. So I want to protect myself. So I'm buying at 103. I want to protect myself at 90,000, but I think we're going to go to 140,000, right? So that's where if I get that right, I want to take profits. This is where you can add in your take profits, 140,000, right? Your stop loss, 90,000. And what it basically allows you to do, okay, and obviously the price, the amount of money that you want to put in. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to buy the token, okay, and put a stop loss and take profit in. So when the position is opened, okay, there we go. You have your stop loss and your take profits in. But guys, this is where you are going to buy and sell for your spot positions. Then what you have on top here is the futures, copy trading. Okay, so futures is where we're going to go next, which is the leverage. Copy trading, there's a bunch of copy trading options here if you want to put some money that copies someone else. Okay, I always believe in trading yourself, but there is great traders out there, and you can find if you want to put a little bit of money to grow with someone that is trading, fantastic. You got the earn section, bonus section. And just before we get in, guys, let me quickly show you the top here as well. All right, let's go back here to the section. So on the top here, you'll have your capital available. It'll show you all your assets, and it'll show you that there's multiple little wallets inside of a crypto exchange. You have your spot, you have your futures. So this just means whatever you're trading in spot, whatever you're trading futures is not going to overlap each other, right? If you're losing over there, that's not going to affect each other, which is really nice. That's what you want, right? Then you have the deposit withdrawal section and transfer section if you want to send money inside of the exchange to the different wallets. Then over here, notifications, and the important thing here is your section over here. Now, guys, one thing you must be very important to understand when you open up an exchange is have a second line of defense, right? So make sure that you have something second that helps no one kind of break into your accounts. Remember, you are now in charge. So you got a password and an email right now, but if someone knows that, they can get into your account. So what you do is you go to this section over here and you just go up your security. And there's multiple ways you can do this, right? You could see over here. Now, here we go. Okay. So one is obviously KYC. If you want a KYC, it comes with some benefits. This exchange, you don't have to. If you want to, you can. That means your ID, all these type of things. Okay. But then you see below here, you've got phone and Google authentication, right? And there's a couple of others here as well. Withdraw whitelists. Okay. So what this is it's a second line of protection, which means that if you log in, it can send you an SMS. It will ask you for the SMS. You put that in and you can get in. Okay, it's just a second line of protection. Then you got something called a Google Authenticator app. If you go to your store, right, or your Play Store or your iStore, you go into any of these, you can search the Google Authenticator app. What this is an app that keeps codes that are changing all the time. So when you want to, let's say, activate this over here, it's going to give you a barcode. And on your app that you've just downloaded on your phone, you're going to scan the barcode. But very important, take a photo of that barcode and print it 1 or 2 times and put them in very safe places, because this is going to be a very important piece that you need if you ever lose your phone. Because if you lose your phone, that code's gone. And what it is every 20 seconds, a new code appears. The old one disappears. So when you want to log into your account, you can then look for a 6-digit code, and it's changing all the time. So it makes it very hard for someone to hack it or get in as well. But remember, okay, you're scanning this on the device on your phone. If you lose your phone and you get a new phone, you're going to need to rescan that barcode, and you cannot get it again over here. You get it on the first time that you get over here, and that's for protection purposes. So someone can't log into your account to get the code again, right? And then you can just scan it up again. So make sure you keep that in a safe place. But Google Authenticator is a huge one. I use it for all of my accounts. So you can use the phone, Google Authenticator, and then you got something here, withdraw whitelist. So every time you want to withdraw money, you actually have to whitelist where it's going, and you have to approve it, so that if someone wants to, let's say, get into your account, wants to withdraw, they can't, because it's whitelisted and they need the authenticator and these type of things as well. So these are just a couple of things. And yes, obviously, if you want to change your passwords and all of these type of things. Okay, now let's jump into leverage. Guys, again, I have a school that will help you if you don't fully understand leverage. But what leverage is basically is you can use the exchange as money, but it comes with a consequence. It's basically telling you that, hey, you have a prediction. You think price is going to go up or down, right? Because you can make money to the up or the downside. If it's going up, you're longing the markets. If it's going down, you are shorting the markets, right? And what this basically means over here is if you have $1,000, they say, hey, we can borrow you another $1,000, or we can borrow you another $9,000. Okay, make your prediction up or down. Now you will then take the trade. If the trade goes incorrect by a certain price, because they have put their money on the line for you, okay, you can liquidate and lose the account. Now, again, this will not affect the spot account. Okay, and again, this is not scary when you know that stop losses are vital, right? Put a stop loss in so that it never gets to that point of being liquidation. Very important. Okay, so there is a liquidation risk. On the pro side of it is if you really focus on this and start developing your leverage skills, you have a lot more money access whenever you need it. Therefore, and what really helped me a lot with leverage, and I'm saying this because leverage can get you addicted as well. It can be quite crazy, and it can be very powerful. I went through it all, right? But there was a lot of times where 90% of my money was in the market, and the market was dropping really hard, right? And all of my other accounts were in a loss. But because I had the skill of leverage, I could actually have more money than what I actually had, and I could buy bigger positions at the bottom. Therefore, when the market rose up again, I managed to recover and go into profits a lot faster. So it does have those benefits as well. So what you have is you can go all the way up to a 50x, okay? But if you're brand new, again, no financial advice. This is your choice, right? But I would not go more than 3 to 5x until I understand the game. As you get better, you can go to 10x, 20x. And you know what? Those beautiful higher numbers are great later on as you start evolving as a trader. But you can basically choose the amount. So now that we know that, let's jump straight back in here. This is your trading den. This is where you're going to live, right? This is where you're doing it all. So on the top left is all the tokens that you want to trade. So I'm going to use an example as Ethereum, okay? Then what you'll see over here is obviously the chart and the tools. I'm buying here, I'm putting a stop loss here, right? You always got to do some sort of analysis before you want to buy and sell, okay? So here's all your tools over here. Then your timeframes on the top, very similar to spot. You've got the order book, and then you have the trade section. Now, one thing that is vital, very important, guys, is this piece over here. Something called cross mode and isolated mode. Now, guys, by not knowing the difference, it can seem amazing, but it's important to understand. Cross means that everything is put together inside of this account. What do I mean by that? Is if you open up a Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, you open up 10 coins, right? And you're trading now. They all have liquidation prices, okay? And if one token goes wrong, okay, it's going to start taking from the other positions, and you could actually lose all the positions, okay? Which sounds scary, right? The pro side to that is when the market's going up, you could use those profits to buy more of all the other tokens. I would not, especially as a beginner, I would not touch cross mode. This is a more advanced tool that you can use later on. I still don't use it to this day because I like the isolated section. Now, what isolated means, okay, is this over here. This means that every trade is by itself. So you see I have money here, I have $21,000. If I enter $2,000 into a trade now and something happens to that $2,000, it won't affect this money. If it's on cross, it will use this money, okay, as a collateral, okay? And it's the same thing that if I go and open 10 coins now, they're all individually. So if one coin goes wrong, my other 9 positions are still okay. So isolated, very important. On the next side over here, you have the leverage. Now, guys, you can do crazy amounts, but ignore the crazy amounts. This comes later on with skill. Right now, you have the ability to trade with 2 times more money than what you got, 3 times, 4 times 5, like, you know, you don't have to go crazy high yet. You want to learn the major skill, but this is where you will choose the leverage. If you're longing, buying to the upside, and if you're shorting to the downside, you can choose. And also remember, every time, so for example, I just want to show you this. It's a very important little tool over here. So let's say I went on a 5x now, right? So every time I buy 5x, more money than what I got, right? Every time you change tokens, and I want to see if it's the same on this one over here, just be careful. It goes back to the original. So when you're going to trade a new token now, make sure the leverage is okay and make sure it's unisolated. Very important. Just small little things to make sure. I've made the mistakes and I've lost a lot of money by making these mistakes before. Okay, so this is the leverage. This is the mode. Then you have opening and closing of trades. Now, guys, futures is so nice because they give you such an easy user face. So let me explain this to you. If I want to open a trade, there's 2 ways I can open the trade. The first one is something called a limit order. And this is a little bit more of a prediction way to buy a token, where you can basically choose the price that you want to buy it, but you don't know when it will basically hit or if it will hit. So this is when something has been, let's say, going up for a little while, and you think it's going to come down. And you're going to say, you know what, I want to buy it when it comes down. But I'm also busy, right? I can't continuously watch my screen and things like that. You can actually set a limit, which means you have money sitting in an order book that is hidden. And when price gets down to a certain point, it will trigger that order and it will buy it for you when you're not watching, right? So a very cool way that if I think like for now, let's go back here to Ethereum. Ethereum sitting at $2,570 as I'm shooting this, but I think it's going to come down to 2,300. I can go here now and say, okay, limit order over here. I want to buy this at 2,350. Okay, and I want to put a limit order there. Now remember, this here now is the amount of money you're going to put into the trade. Okay, so it's going to take your amounts. This is margin. This is your amount of money. What your money, how much of your money is going into the trade. Okay, but what you'll also see as well is it's going to add the 5x leverage in this too. So you'll see you're going to put in $4,000 as example of your money out of 21,000. but you're actually buying $20,000 worth of tokens at that area because you're on a 5x leverage. So this limit is a great way, and it's the same thing that if you're in a token and it's going to go up 40%, you can put a take profits in. So at any point, I can just get you out of the market if you're in the profits, right? So limit order is a way that it's not right now, but if it goes there, execute for me. And then what you have is market execution. What this does is you see here, there's buyers and sellers. There's buyers and sellers over here. If I want to get in the market right now, right, what it will do is it'll buy from multiple people here the position that I want. So it means that if you buy $1,000, you might only get $998 worth of the position because it had to buy from multiple people that was maybe a little bit cheaper up the list. But as long as you're trading high volume tokens, it'll be very close to the amount of money. So again, markets is just buying from a little bit more people, but it's getting you in right now. Okay, these little things you can learn later on. Don't really need to know that much right now. Now, the next thing that's important is, let's say I'm going to market execute right now. I'm going to buy into Ethereum right now. I want to go long. I think the market's going to go up. Okay, what you have just below here is a piece called a stop loss, a TP and an SL. Take profits and a stop loss, right? So stop loss is to protect your risk, okay? And take profits is to make sure you have a reward and you actually bank the money, right? Very important. So if you look at this now, I want to buy right now. Let's go, and I'm on a 5x. I'm going to buy 2% right now, and I'm going to say long, right? But before that, I can actually put a take profit and a stop loss. So if ETH, where do I want to protect myself? $2,480 as an example. So $2,480 is my stop loss. Where do I think we're going? To $3,100. Okay, so before I've even opened the trade, I've already protected my risk and I've already put my reward in play. That's what trading is about, right? By knowing the two and making sure that you're prepared. Now I can go long or I can go short, right? If I go short, then I must just change my stop loss and take profits in the correct way. But shorting is also a way that if you think the market's going to come down, you can make money, right? But let's open it long. Boom. Okay. Now what you'll see is the trade is open. Not only is it open, it has set a take profit and a stop loss for you, which is fantastic. So now your risk is done. You can wait. Now, what it means is that you've opened a position. If you set a limit order and your position, it's sitting in order, your position's not open yet. It hasn't bought the tokens, but if it gets to a certain place, it will buy the tokens, right? But now let's say that the trigger, but now let's say the position is actually open. So now it's open. You'll see that there is your token. There is the amount of leverage. This is the amount of Ethereum you have, which basically takes this over here, which is your margin. This is how much money I put into the trade, was only $400. Okay, but I'm trading with a lot more. I'm trading with nearly an Ethereum, right? Which is basically $2,500. So it makes sense, right? You take my $400, you times it by 5, I'm playing close to $2,000 or just over $2,000, right? So that's already calculated in. You then have your entry price. Where did you enter? After that, you then have a market price. What's the current price of the market? Then you have a liquidation price. This is where they will liquidate your capital. This is why it's important to have a stop loss in, so it breaks you out before any of those danger zones come in. But that is where they will basically liquidate you, right? Saying, hey, we've borrowed you a lot of money. It's getting too out of risk here. Okay, your collateral's run out. We're now closing the account, right? These things, all the exchanges basically do this. That's why stop losses are vital. Then you have margin, which is your money. Okay, and then you have the unrealized profits over here. This is the token in profits now or a loss? You can see I'm currently $5 up, 1% up right now. If I want to change or adjust my stop loss and take profits, I can do this over here, right? I can click on that section over here, the TP or SL, and I can change, right? If I want to immediately exit the position, there's a market close button over here, and there's a small little bit of tools that you see on the side over here. So guys, trading is all about keeping it simple. So again, your tokens are over here, your time frames, your tools, your chart, order book on the right-hand side, your modes. Isolated is the one, right? It's the good one, okay? This is where you select your leverages. Remember, when you change tokens, remember to double check your leverage is right. Then you have opening and closing of positions, right? Then you have a limit and a market to get in and out of positions. When you open the position, if it's a limit or a market, you can set a stop loss and a take profit. Okay, this is where you'll open the long or the short. Then you will see over here, you will then see the position bar once it is open. If you want to see where your orders are sitting, you've got open orders here, okay? And you even have order histories and all of these type of things as well. You could see here, I open up a nice Rune trade, okay, for a 300% gainer, right? I can go and look at all of the past and all of these type of things over here as well, okay? And all the different histories, and your position is over here. Your token, the full position size with the leverage you've taken, okay, your entry price, market price, liquidation price, margin, which is your money, how much of your money is in this trade, okay, the unrealized profits, take profits and stop losses, and market executions over here. Quickly on the top again, we go through here back to the dashboard. If you want to buy crypto over here, you want to find tokens and see what's available on spot or futures over here in the market section. The trading section, you got spot, right? This is where you want to buy things without leverage. Then you have the futures. Then you got copy trading, earn. On the right-hand side is your information. Make sure you have security. Make sure everything's great. Remember as well, use the link below if you have not. And if you have signed up, do not miss out on an incredible school. And I want to show you the school again. This is the school over here. That's going to teach you every basics that you need when it comes to TA. We've had a massive amount of students that have come through the school, huge community, and it's incredible to have like-minded people around you. Guys, have an absolute fantastic day. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best 2025.